Let's declare this class to simplify the implementation of animation objects. First, the method of forming an object with the desired properties. Specify the total number of sprites. I created a separate sprite sheet and numbered each sprite. A link to this file is attached to the lesson. You may find it useful if you are going to experiment. Specify the distance by which the shift will occur when the next key is pressed. Now, tick count and ticks per frame. I'll show with the following example. The sprite sheet will only have 9 frames. Here, a frame change occurs at each shift. And here, the ticks per frame value is 3. And the movement looks smoother, although the speed of movement from left to right is the same. We'll explore this in more detail a little later. We will fix the current frame number and also calculate the total offset value, in other words, the position on the canvas. The constructor is ready. Now, let's move on to implementing behavior using methods. The first method is update. Animation frames are rendered one at a time at the desired frequency, creating a motion effect. To implement the frame rate, we will count ticks. If this value exceeds ticks per frame, we set it to 0 and check that the current frame should not be the last one. In this case, we move on to the next frame. Otherwise, reset the current frame. The method is ready. Take a look at it again. We set the frame rate by jumping to a new frame when the number of ticks exceeds the ticks per frame value. Now the movement method. First, we use the update method. Then clear the canvas. After that, we use the draw image method. Let me remind you the syntax of this method. The source with the original image. The choice of the location of the desired frame on the source. Dimensions of the frame. Location to place the desired frame on the canvas and its dimensions. Increase shift. This method is ready. What do you think? How to implement the movement to the left? Well, at first it's clear. Updating and cleaning. What's next? My very first thought was to create a second mirrored sprite sheet. Of course, you can go this way, and this will be the easiest way. However, the heroes are not looking for easy ways. JavaScript has everything to automate this. We save the entire state of the canvas. We are interested in the current transformation matrix and the current clipping region. The scale method with values -1, 1 will mirror around the 0 point horizontally. When rendering, you need to be careful defining the placement parameters of the canvas sprite. The coordinate system is flipped horizontally. As a result, we use a negative shift. We also subtract the width of the sprite, thereby using the next sprite with the new movement of the character when turning. After rendering, we restore the last saved state of the canvas. Since the movement to the left, we reduce the total amount of displacement. Our class is ready. And this is the simplest implementation. The elementary engine can be upgraded by adding acceleration, inertia, drawing more frames during shifts, and so on. But now this is not required. We are not developing a game, but only getting acquainted with interesting methods of canvas animation. Initialization after loading. and the corresponding methods on the right and left arrow keys on the keyboard. Don't forget about the brick statement to exit the switch block. Ready! And there are no hundreds of lines. Pretty simple, right? If you use different sprite sheets, do not forget to indicate the number of frames. As for the game and its phenomenon, it's not about graphics and special effects, but about ideas, philosophy, and original solutions. This is a story about human relationships. It's very mature, and the game gets scarier the older you get. System requirements from 20 years old, as well as a brain of average power. Playing with time, for example rewinding, or time only moves when you move, and so on. I won't tell you any further, you have to go through it, or skip it and move on. As for indie games, I think they have great potential and a bright future.